Something happens to Western homes over time. The surfaces fill up, the closets won't close all the way. You spend a Saturday organizing, and by the next weekend, it looks exactly the same. You buy better baskets, more shelves, a label maker, and somehow that doesn't fix it either. The problem doesn't get solved, it just gets rearranged. Scandinavian homes feel different. Not bigger, not fancier. They just feel calmer when you walk in. There's room to breathe. And it's not because Scandinavians are naturally tidier, it's because they keep fewer things, and they're deliberate about which things stay. Today we're going through 12 things you will almost never find in a Scandinavian home. Some of these are simple swaps. A couple will surprise you. But number 1 caught me off guard when I first came across it, because it's less about what you own and more about the reason you're keeping it. We'll get there. Let's start at number 12. Number 12. Excess decorative clutter on surfaces. Walk into a Scandinavian kitchen and you can see the counter. A cutting board, a kettle, maybe a small plant. That's it. The living room shelf holds a few books and some room left over. What's not there is the slow accumulation that tends to cover Western surfaces over time. The decorative bowl full of things without anywhere to go. The gift candle that was never opened. The framed quote from 2 apartments ago. Scandinavians apply a simple filter here. If it doesn't serve you or genuinely make the space feel calm, it doesn't earn counter space. Try picking up one thing from your most used surface today and asking whether it earns its spot. The pause before answering usually tells you everything. Number 11. The junk drawer. Almost every Western home has one. That kitchen drawer where batteries go, along with old takeout menus, mystery keys, a rubber band collection, and a charger for a phone you no longer own. It feels harmless, but it's really a file of postponed decisions. Scandinavian homes don't keep junk drawers because the junk drawer is permission to avoid dealing with things. The Nordic approach is to handle each object once. If the screwdriver belongs in the toolbox, it goes there. If the mystery key doesn't open anything you own, it goes out. A junk drawer is a low-grade source of mental friction every time you open it. Clearing one is a small thing and a surprisingly satisfying one. Number 10. Harsh overhead lighting. Walk into a Scandinavian home in the evening and the light will be warm and low. A floor lamp in the corner. A pendant over the dining table. Candles on a windowsill. What you won't find is a single bright overhead light flooding the whole room from the ceiling. Sweden, Norway, and Denmark have long, dark winters. Over generations, people there figured out that the quality of indoor light matters as much as the amount. Cold, flat overhead lighting tells your nervous system you're in a waiting room. Warm light from multiple low sources changes the entire tone of a space. Tonight, try turning off the overhead light and switching to 2 lamps instead. The same room feels completely different, and most people who try it don't go back. Number 9. Synthetic bedding. Cheap polyester sheets and hollow fiber pillows are the default in a huge portion of Western bedrooms, mostly because they're affordable and widely available. But they don't breathe well, which means you often wake up warmer than you fell asleep, more restless, less rested. Scandinavians default to natural materials, things like linen, cotton, wool, and down. Not as a luxury preference, but as a practical one. Natural fibers regulate temperature through the night. You sleep more evenly and wake up feeling like you actually did. You don't need to replace everything at once. One linen pillowcase makes a noticeable difference within a few nights. Lagom means not the maximum change, just the right one. Number 8. Plastic storage bins stuffed with things to deal with later. This is a very Western trap, and an understandable one. You can't decide what to do with something, so you put it in a plastic bin and stack it in the closet. Then another bin goes on top. Then another. Before long, the closet is full of sealed containers you haven't opened in years, and you feel organized because at least they're contained. Scandinavians see this differently. A bin full of things you haven't touched since you sealed it is not storage. It's a decision you're renting out at the cost of space and quiet background stress. Owning what you need and knowing where it is, that's the Nordic standard. If you can't say what's in the bin without opening it, that's usually your answer. Number 7. The chair of unworn clothes. Every bedroom in the English-speaking world has this chair. The clothes that weren't quite dirty enough to wash but didn't make it back to a hanger. A week later, it's a pile. 2 weeks later, it's a structure. The chair has been accepted as a permanent feature of the room. Scandinavian bedrooms don't have this chair. Not because the chair isn't there, but because the clothes go back. This is easier in Nordic homes because there are fewer clothes to manage. When you genuinely like everything in your wardrobe and it fits properly and has a place, returning it takes 10 seconds. The pile chair is almost always a symptom of owning more than you can actually manage. Number 6. Artificial air fresheners and synthetic candles. There's a whole aisle in every Western supermarket dedicated to making your home smell like something it isn't. Plug-in synthetics, bleach-based sprays, paraffin candles with fragrance chemicals, little plastic diffusers shaped like trees. The underlying idea is that a home should smell floral, or vaguely coastal, or like a spa. Scandinavian candle culture runs deep, especially through the long winter months, and the preference there is for natural materials. Beeswax, soy, simple botanical oils if anything at all. The best smell for a home, by the Nordic view, comes from what's actually happening inside it. Coffee brewing, bread baking, fresh air from a window cracked open for 10 minutes. An unscented beeswax candle in a dim room does more than most synthetic products, and without the chemical background noise. Number 5. Duplicate kitchen gadgets and single-use tools. The spiralizer used twice. The electric can opener sitting beside the manual one. The avocado slicer, the strawberry huller, the egg separator shaped like a cartoon duck. Western kitchens collect gadgets the same way junk drawers collect batteries, one at a time, each one seeming reasonable at the moment of purchase. Scandinavian kitchens run lean. A good knife does most of the work, along with a heavy pot, a wooden spoon, and a cast iron pan. Lagom is about owning the right amount, not the most. Before buying the next kitchen item, it's worth asking whether what you already own could do the job. It usually can, and the kitchen is quieter when it's not managing a gadget collection. Number 4. A television in the bedroom. Scandinavians tend to be consistent about this one. The bedroom is for sleep and rest. A screen in the bedroom changes what the brain does in the hour before sleep, how deeply you sleep, and how you feel the next morning. Warm light, low activity, something that calms rather than stimulates. That's the hygge approach to evening. When a TV is on the bedroom wall, the room stops being a retreat. It becomes a second living room. And a second living room is never quite as restful as a bedroom should be. The research on this is consistent. Scandinavians got there through habit long before the sleep studies confirmed what they already knew. Number 3. Aggressive chemical cleaners. Bleach sprays, ammonia-based products, and heavily fragranced synthetic cleaners are the standard in many Western homes because the strong smell reads as clean. Big scent, better results, or so the thinking goes. Nordic homes have shifted largely towards simpler options. White vinegar, baking soda, plant-based concentrates, Castile soap. Not for ideological reasons, but because they work well and the trade-offs matter. Indoor air quality in well-sealed modern homes is often worse than outdoor air, and synthetic cleaning products contribute significantly to that. Fewer chemicals indoors, combined with regular ventilation, makes a real difference over time. And because Scandinavian homes have fewer cluttered surfaces to begin with, the whole process is faster anyway. Number 2. Fake or dead plants. A dusty plastic succulent on a windowsill. A silk fern that hasn't been touched since it went up. A cactus dying slowly in the wrong light. These are common in Western homes because the intention to have living things around is genuine, but the follow-through gets hard. Scandinavians keep real plants, but fewer of them, and ones they can actually take care of. A single healthy pothos on a well-lit shelf does more for a room than 6 plastic ones. It connects the home to something alive and growing. Swapping one fake plant for a real one is a small change that shifts how a space feels, often more than most other decorating moves. Number 1. Things kept out of guilt rather than love. This is the one. Decorating is a Swedish concept that translates roughly to death cleaning, though the name sounds more dramatic than the practice. It means looking at what you own and asking whether each thing stays because you genuinely use it or genuinely love it, or because you feel you can't get rid of it. The aunt's vase you never liked but feel guilty about. The wedding gifts still in their boxes. The furniture inherited from someone who is gone, filling a room it doesn't suit. The collection of things kept out of loyalty to the people who gave them. Swedes go through this process at different points in life, and what they find every time is the same. The guilt-kept objects don't make anyone happy. They occupy space and carry a quiet, constant weight that you stop noticing only when it's finally gone. Letting them go isn't disrespectful, it's honest. And in most cases, those things can find a home where someone actually wants them. And that's the thread running through all 12 of these. A Scandinavian home feels the way it does, not because of what's in it, but because of what's been let go. If that's the kind of home you want, subscribe. More calm Nordic living every week.